In the 2006 NFL Draft, the Patriots selected Chad Jackson, wide receiver out of the University of Florida, in the second round with the 36th overall pick. Jackson was brought into New England to add some speed to a Patriots offense, seeing as he had a 4.32 40-yard dash time, and they specifically traded up to take a receiver so that Tom Brady would have a premier pass catcher to work with. Keep in mind that this happened in 2006, a year prior to the offseason where Brady would end up getting Randy Moss and Wes Welker. Jackson's tenure with the New England Patriots got off to a bad foot, to say the least, when he sustained a hamstring injury and missed the Patriots' preseason games. But by Week 5, despite him only catching 5 passes up till that point, he had 2 touchdowns that gave Patriots fans hope that maybe he'd turn out into something great. This would not be the case. That hamstring injury that he sustained in the preseason would continue to hurt him throughout the regular season before he'd suffer a groin injury and miss some time in December. He'd also suffer a torn ACL in the AFC Championship game, which kept him out for some time in 2007. And by then, with the lack of production towards the end of the season, the Patriots knew that things were not going to work. Now, he'd play in the divisional against the Jaguars, but he'd be a healthy scratch against the Chargers in the AFC Championship game and the Giants in the Super Bowl. The Patriots would cut Jackson by the 53-man cutdown date in the 2008 offseason. Now, why do I bring up this guy? I mean, chances are, as a fan, you've probably never heard of the name Chad Jackson. Well, let me go back to what I said at the beginning. Chad Jackson, who was selected in the second round with the 36th overall pick, ran a 4.32 40-yard dash. That 40-yard dash time is important because until this year's draft, Jackson was the fastest player the Patriots had ever drafted, let alone the fastest receiver they'd ever drafted. But then through the selection of Tyquan Thornton, who had a 4.28 40-yard dash, the Patriots had a new fastest player, and Thornton definitely looks a lot more promising than Chad Jackson ever was. When the Patriots drafted Thornton, they knew they were going to get a guy that was going to excel in speed, specifically long speed, a category the Patriots had lacked in their offense for a very long time. Truth be told, in my time being a fan of the Patriots, I have not seen the Patriots have a guy who excels with speed like Thornton since maybe Philip Dorsett. But even then, Dorsett is a guy that was known more for his quicker speed and his ability to make sharp cuts in his routes. Now, Thornton's been very solid in 2 out of the 3 games that he's played for the Patriots. He saw some action in preseason week 1 against the Giants where he was able to score a receiving touchdown. Now, he was active for the Lions game, but he really just didn't see that much action. But he did see a lot of action in week 6 against the Browns where he had both a receiving and rushing touchdown. Hence the reason why I said he was solid in 2 out of the 3 games he's been active. In the touchdown against the Browns, Thornton was able to get immediate separation off the line and get open on a shallow crossing route using his speed. But what I liked most about him, specifically in his touchdown against the Giants, was that he was able to work back to the far side of the field in extremely tight coverage, and on top of that, break through pass interference and still get open to catch the ball for the score. He's become a great red zone target, and the only thing keeping him from being a full-time starter is the fact that the Patriots already have a good deep threat in Devontae Parker, who has the advantage of having a bigger frame, and they already have their go-to pass catcher in Jacoby Myers, who at this point in time is just simply a better route runner. Now, really the question is whether or not it's possible for Thornton to be the Patriots' number 1 guy. Not a starter, I'm sure he'll get there in time, but they're a number 1 receiver that opposing defenses have to look out for. I think it's definitely possible given Thornton's speed and ability to gain separation, but I think it's ultimately his frame that is the roadblock in his path to stardom. Thornton is tall, but he's also quite thin, meaning that he's not going to outmuscle you in jump ball situations, even if he can get that high given his height. This basically prevents him from becoming a guy like Devontae Parker, which, I mean, we kind of all knew that he was never going to be like Devontae Parker or Michael Thomas guys who can outmuscle you, but this also means that he's going to have to work really hard improving his game as a route runner. I mean, he's got the speed, but in college, he didn't really have the entire route tree access to him given his position and the type of player he is. I think that there is some serious work that needs to be done by the Patriots coaching staff throughout the season or potentially next offseason to see where Thornton can fit in this offense, instead of just using him as a speed demon occasionally. But I think what worries me about Thornton the most is his ability to stay healthy. He already had a collarbone injury that he sustained throughout the preseason, and again, his frame doesn't exactly give me full confidence that he's the most durable guy in the Patriots receivers room. Now, we can't exactly comment on the progress of Thornton so far, seeing as so far this season he's really only had 2 opportunities to shine, and so far has done well in both. And with Mac Jones likely coming back this week, or at worst next week, we will see the Patriots' deep passing game that was hinted earlier throughout this season come back, which means that the stage will be set for Thornton to show off his abilities, assuming that Matt Patricia calls the necessary plays that will allow him to do so, which at this point isn't exactly a given, seeing as Matt Patricia sometimes looks like an offensive genius and then the next looks lost. So I don't even know how to comment on Matt Patricia anymore. But for right now, time will only tell if Thornton can shine in New England. And while I did talk about how he is limited by his frame, I believe he can shine, and it's really up to the coaching staff to design plays and work with Thornton to implement him in the offseason, because if they don't, he'll just be another N'Keal Harry, another failed experiment. But if they do, Thornton has the ability to become a beast. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later in the next episode. Peace out.